In this tutorial, we're quickly going to be designing a software that can generate code randomly. So let's go into the class. So let's bring in my HTML structure. Inside the body tag, we'll quickly write some HTML elements. So the first one we're going to write is our header tag, h1, and then we're going to give it a content called random quote generator. Okay. Then we'll also need a paragraph tag. Inside the paragraph tag, we're going to have an attribute. First one is an ID that we'll call quote. Then we also need a button such that every time we click on that button, its system generates a code for us. So we're going to put generate as the name of the button. All right, so next we're going to write a simple JavaScript code inside the script tag. So first we want to declare a variable called quote. And the kind of variable we're declaring here is going to be an array. So inside this array, we will be having some quotes separated by comma. Okay. Some statements, some string words. Okay, some string or some quotes inside the string, but then separated by comma. So let's just look for some simple quotes. Say, believe in yourself and you will achieve more. Okay, this is supposed to be a string. Okay. So we'll separate using a comma. Let's generate another quote inside string. So say keep moving and don't stop. Another comma, another quote in a string. So say never give up. You are stronger than you think. Let's look for two more. Say another quote. Dream big, aim high, and the sky will be your starting point. Then let's add one more in a quote. So let's say we're going to have be who you should be and and not try to please anyone. So we'll leave this at, let's leave these 5 quotes now. Let's leave it as it is like this. And then so the next thing we want to do is to write a function and call it maybe my quote. Okay. So create a variable code const, and then we use our random library, random say index, and then we say math dot floor. So generate randomly for us. Generate random. Okay. So generate something for us. Generate something randomly for us. Okay. So now another thing we need to do is we are telling the system to generate code for us, but then it's going to be picking the code from this array. Okay. And so for it to do that, we need to also specify the length of the total quotes that we have inside that array. So by doing that, what we're trying to do is that we're trying to streamline the movement, the picking, okay, of those quotes, all right, to be within the number of quotes that we have inside that array. So that's why we now say multiply by, okay, because I know from this that we have just 5 quotes here. So I can decide to just say multiply by 5. But in a case where you certainly know that you do not have the total figure. Okay, you don't have the total figure. In case where you have maybe about over 100,000 quotes, all right, and you don't even know how many quotes you have in that particular array. So how do you specify the length? So what you just do is to pick the name of the array, which is quote, okay, and then say dot length. Okay, automatically the system understands what you're trying to say. That you're talking about the total length of what you have in that code. So you're saying look within the code, okay, and then generate something for us. Now the next thing we want to do is to output our answer to the screen. Okay, so where we are putting it to, we're going to be putting it into this paragraph that we have here. So we need to access that done by saying documents dot get element by ID. Okay, so we are now picking quotes. All right. So we then say output this by using the text content, all right, to be equal to whatever answer that we're getting from it. So we now say quote or quote. Okay. So we now have we have a random index. So whatever thing is being generated here is stored inside this variable, and then we now output it here. All right. So let's see what we have on the screen. So the first thing I want to quickly just do, let me just do some stylings here. So I'll come to my header here, use the internal styling. Okay, so for the body, um, let's display this and so that we can centralize. Let's centralize this. Um, okay, or let's use position. So let's use position and maybe call it we'll say relative, and then we'll give it a top of 50. Okay, so we use an absolute top of 50, then we have left also to be 50. So let me give this on height and call it 100 bh. I'll give this a width and call it okay. And we can then use our transform and then use our translate to be minus 50 minus 50. Sorry. Okay, so let's give this an height of maybe 100 ph. Also give this an height of this. So let's display this here at the center. Let's justify it now and place it at the center. It's also a line and place it at the center. Let's make this to be, let's change the direction to be column. Okay. Then we can also quickly work on the paragraph. Let's increase the font size to, let's increase to maybe 20 pixels. We can change the color, maybe red. Okay. I can also work on the button. So let's increase this font size to 20 pixels. All right. So if we click on this now, nothing happens because we've not instructed this button to do something. So what do? We need to just copy our function, then add it as an attribute to our button. So we'll say I'm clicking this button, let this happen. So you can see, what the result is. Okay. So it will only generate whatever thing you have inside this array. Okay, but that's going to be done randomly. So this is how to write some few lines of code to generate code in a random manner. So another thing you can do with this code generation is that you can also generate some values from codes and all that. So say for example, I want to generate some numbers. So all I just need to do is come here and say, instead of me using code.length, okay, let's say I want to generate um, numbers that are okay from maybe that are between 1 to 10. All I just need to do is to say some numbers, let's say multiply by 10. Okay, so then correct this. So what happens is if you click on this now, you can see it will generate numbers, okay, between 1 or from 0 to 10. If I change this to 100, it generates numbers between zeros and 100. Okay, then if I also make this and say 1000, it also generates between 1 and 10. All right, so next is what if you want to generate numbers between two numbers? How do you get that done? So the first thing you want to do is to specify the minimum number and the maximum number. Okay, so if I say I want my minimum number to be maybe 100 and I want my maximum number to be maybe 1000, so all I need to do now is to come here, open a parenthesis, and then say maximum minus minimum number. Okay, so look at what happens. Maximum minimum, yes, maximum minimum. Okay, okay, so this is it. So what we're simply saying is generate a number, okay, that is within 100 and 1000. Okay, so whatever number is generated should be added to this minimum and then stored in this random index. Then we now have the result on the screen. So that this is what we are achieving here now. Okay, so um, what if we want to make it such that we want the numbers to just be like a 4 digit, like what you have when you want to use your code, okay, your ATM code that always have a 4 digit number. So all you just need to do is to make this one um 1000, right? Make this one 1000, and then you can make this one 999 999. So let's see what happens. So you can see now, okay, so it automatically generates a 4 digit code for us. So these are some of the few things you can actually do random with your map.random library in JavaScript.